Good morning, everyone. I think now I am perfectly audible to everyone. Can someone respond whether am I audible or not?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, today I am going to cover lab sheet part 2, that jump statement. It is a small lab sheet, as well as lab sheet 7 call functions. Okay, before going to the lab sheet 6 part 2 and the lab sheet 7, I'm going to explain the questions of the previous lab sheet. Okay, now I think you guys already uploaded this question to the Moodle. That here, the first exercises, I think it is as it is, you did it in the previous lab session for loops. Okay, and let's take the question number 7. How we can do this one? It asks to write a C program using a while loop to compute total course fees for students. Okay, prompt user to enter their name as a string. Okay, and ID number as a string, and the duration of the study as an integer. Okay, for an example, let's say uh, a name is Saman. You need to enter the name Saman and the ID number, let's say 224001K. So whatever that index number or whatever the registration number, uh, it can be a registration number, it can be a NIC, whatever the one. However, it asks for the ID number and the duration of the study. Let's say duration is 5 years. Okay. Suppose that the course fee starting from the $200. Course fee is $200 in the first year, and increase 5% in the following year. Okay, you need to multiply this one using 0.5. It is the second year, and whatever that value, you need to again multiply it by 5%. Then this is third year. Likewise, you have to go, if the number of duration is 5, you have to go up to 5. Okay, and calculate the annual fee and the total course fees for whole duration of the study. That means you need to provide what is the each year annual fee. First year is to the $200. Next year, let's say it is 201. When you add the 5%, then 201, then 202. Likewise, you have to display each year what is the total, what is the course fee, as well as ultimately you have to provide the total course fee. Okay, and you need to display all the information. Display all the information means you need to display the student name and the registration number, ID number, as well as uh, first year course fee, second year course fee, third year course fee, likewise up to if 5 years, if the input is 5, and ultimately you need to show that total course fee. Okay, however, this is a simple question. I took this one because sometimes you may get worried about how to take the string values as an input. Okay, so that may be a little bit challenging part for you. So here, what we have to do is, if you need to get string type input, you can take the character to a variable called char. Okay, let's say char name. So, but if you take the name as char, you can save only a one character. Okay, but here you need to take the sequence of characters. Let's say input name is Saman. So Saman has 5 characters. Okay, if you need to get 5 characters, either you have to define this one as an array of size. So let's say maximum size is 50, maximum 50 characters allowed. Okay, so this is a character array. Okay, you can store maximum of 50 characters. Okay, or otherwise you can use char. Let's say a different name. Name 2. You have to provide this one as a pointer. Pointer can be declared with the keyword called star. Okay, you can provide char star name. That means it is a pointer variable which act as a string. Okay, you can input star either here or either here. Both are correct. Okay, if you need to get the user input as a string value, that means someone command, that means sequence of characters, you need to define the variable as a character array, or you need to define the variable as a pointer. However, don't worry that in detail explanation of character array and the what you call pointers will be teach you in the upcoming lectures and the lab sessions. Okay. Now for this question, I'll take the character array. Okay. So I need two character arrays. First one is for the name and second one is for the ID number. Okay. So you can use char ID 50. Okay. So I put this one in the same line. Instead of go to the next line, here I put a comma and ID 50. Two character is char and ID. Then what you need to do, you need to ask the user to enter the, okay, before asking, you need another variable called integer type variable for the course duration. Okay, let's say int d for the duration. Then what you guys can do, you can ask the user to enter name. Enter name. And next you can use the scanf function. Okay, you can use percentage s for the string values. Okay, percentage s for the string values. After that, you need to put the variable name. Okay, we usually provide and sign in front of the name, that means in front of the variable for the scanf function, and sign represent the memory address. Okay, that means memory address of the variable. Okay, since this name is an array, always it represents the memory address. Therefore, it is not required to explicitly mention and for array variables. Okay, don't worry that that part will be covered in the upcoming semesters. Therefore, for the scanf function for the arrays, the and sign is optional. You can omit the and sign, but the single variables, it is required to mention and sign. දැන් සිංහලෙන් කියනවා නම් මේ array එකක් කිව්වොත් අනිවාර්යෙන් කොහොම reference තමයි මෙතනට යන්නේ. arrays වලට variable pass කරන්න බෑ කොහොමත්. හරි? මම එක functions කරද්දි කියන්නම් අද. So when I do the function, I will explain that part also. Okay. So if it is an array, and signed is optional. Okay. It always pass the memory address. Okay. And the next one is you need to get the ID. Therefore, you can ask the user to enter again this one. Enter ID, enter name, and enter ID. Then you can use scanf function here also. ID also actually it is looks like your index number or NIC number. Therefore, we need the string type variable called ID. Therefore, here I pass the variable ID. And next one, I need to get the duration. Therefore, again, printf. Printf, enter duration. Then you can use the scanf function again to get the duration. Okay, duration is an integer type variable. Therefore, you can use the percentage d and the variable called d. Okay, but here the d is not an array. It is a usual that ordinary variable. Therefore, you need to pass the reference here for the scanf function. Therefore, you need to use and sign. Okay, then now you have taken everything. Now you need to calculate the course fees. First year course fees $200. Okay, let's say first year is 200. After that, you need to calculate. Okay. After that, what you have to do, once you are going to calculate, you need to provide the course fee for the each year. Ultimately, you have to provide the total course fee. Okay. As well as you need to provide the information of the student. That means the name and the ID. Okay. First, we will display the student name and the ID. We can use printf. Okay, first of all, let's take a little bit gap /n and /n. After that, we can display our records. That means two next lines. After that, we can display our records. Let's say student name. Okay, you have to use %s because it is a string type variable. After that, /n. Then you can provide name. Name is your variable. And as well as printf student ID. Again, it is %s /n. You can provide the variable ID. And next one is we need to provide what you call course fees. Okay. So first we will declare a variable for the course fees. Okay. Usually, course fee is starting from $200. So we can use the integer type variable, but once you increment by 5%, sometimes there can be a floating point numbers. Okay, I don't know whether the floating point numbers will available or not, but better we provide the variable for the course fee as a floating type or double type variable. And there is a question. So can you explain 11th and 17th questions? 11th and 17th. 11th mean, yeah, Armstrong number. 17 sequences integer, positive, negative, and multiple. Question. Okay, I'll do that part after this question number 7. Okay, then let's say floating type variable, float fee. Then what we can do, initially fee is $200. Fee equal $200. Okay. Then what you guys can do, you need to calculate the fee for each year. Okay. Therefore, obviously, you need to go for a repetition. Okay. You have to use a proper loop. Okay. You can use either for loop, while loop, or do while loop. Okay. But this lab session is belong to the while loop. I use this one using the while loop. Okay. While, and you need to put the condition. Okay. At this moment, I put the condition as true. True mean 1. Okay. Later on, we can change the condition according to our requirement. Okay. මන්ද මෙතන initially මේක infinite loop එකක් කරලා පෙන්නන එක කියන්නේ infinite හැමතිස්සම run වෙනවා. එක කියන්නේ true නේ, always true. Okay. Later on, we can change that one. Okay. What we have to do is first we have to printf the course fee. Initial course fee is $200. Therefore, we can printf year 1 fee is fee is in the floating type variable. Therefore, you have to use percentage f and slash n. Okay, here you have to provide the variable fee. Here one fee is this one. If you want to format this one for the 2 decimal places, here use the 0.2. Okay, now here you can see the first year it display year 1 cost fee. In the next iteration also it mentioned year 1 cost fee. But the next iteration it should be year 2. Therefore, this 1, 2, we have to put it in another variable. Therefore, I declare another variable called count variable. Let's say here I declare another variable called count. Okay. Or otherwise, you can declare the variable here also int count. Okay. Initially, count should be start from 1. Okay. Therefore, I put this one as 1. Okay. Therefore, now I put the variable count. Now I am going to put this count to this one variable. Instead of 1, here I use percentage d and pass the variable. The percentage d come before the fee. Therefore, I put the variable count, comma, after that fee. First one is count. After that, the variable fee. Then what we can do in the next one, initially you put the year 1 and the fee is $200. Before you go to the next year, that means year 2, what we have to do, we have to calculate the course fee. Okay, how do we calculate? You need to increase the course fee by 5%. Okay, how do we increase? That means fee should be equal existing fee multiplied by 5%. Okay, 5% means 0.05. Fee is equal this one. Okay, then what you have to do, you have to add. That means once you increment this one, let's say it is $5. Okay, if it is $5, you need to add this $5 to this 200. Okay, here you will change the fee from 200 to 5. Okay, therefore it's better I put this 1.05. 1 mean 200, that 100%. After that 0.5. Increment that value. You can use whatever the mechanism you like. Here I use fee is equal existing fee into 1.05. Okay, then what you have to do? Then you have to go to the next year. Next year mean count should be increment by 1. Count plus plus. Okay. Now you can go to the next one. Again, it is true. It's go to the print this one, the next value after that increment. After that, now this is a never ending loop. It's go, that mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to infinity. Okay. However, there's a certain point you need to stop. Okay. Where you need to stop? If the user enter the duration as 5, okay, after 5 iteration, you have to stop. Okay. How do we identify that iteration? You can identify that iteration using this counter variable. Count variable. Okay, when this count come to the 5, you have to stop. Suppose that user enter 5. Okay, then the condition should be changed while this count less than or equal 5, you have to do this one. Suppose that user enter 5. Initially start 1, then display this one, increment, count 2, again display, count 3, 4, 5, again display. When the count is 6, you need to terminate. The condition false, then that will be terminated. Okay. Here I made this example as count is 5. Okay. But the 5 is entered by the user. We put it to the variable called D. Therefore, instead of 5, we can put the variable D. Okay, now let's run this program, whether it's working properly. Okay, enter name, someone, enter ID, let's say 224,001K or something. Enter duration, let's say duration is 5. Okay, now we display the information. Someone, ID, enter duration 5. Name is someone, and this one cost one fee initial is $200 and 5%. I think the calculation may be correct. It is 210. After that 210, you need to get another 5%. Okay, then there will be a floating point numbers. 210 multiplied by 5% is 220.5. Then 220.5 multiplied by 5% is 231.52. Then 231.52 multiplied by 5% is 243.1. Okay, up to 5 years. And sometimes you may encounter a issue with this string variable when you enter the name as two parts. Let's say Saman Pereira. Okay, let's see what happened. Enter name Saman Pereira. That means name has two parts separated by space. Saman Pereira. Okay, then what happened? Enter ID. ID will be skipped automatically and you ask for the duration. If the duration is 5, then you can see Saman student ID is taken as Pereira. That means Saman has been taken to the variable name and the Pereira has been automatically taken to the ID. Okay. Usually, if you use a space, that computer thinks this one has a two argument. Therefore, Saman is entered to the first variable name, and the second one he thinks this may be the second variable. It automatically put to the ID. Okay. Therefore, if you need to take the entire string you entered to the variable called what do you call uh, variable name, you have to little bit modify this argument. You have to take the entire variable with the that means without any break. In order to do this one, what you have to do is you use the percentage s. That means in between percentage and s, you have to use open and closing braces. That means this kind of one percentage and the s, you have to open and close the square braces. Okay, not the curly braces. You have to open the square braces, and you have to use what do you call this sign. We usually say this sign is as a circumflex symbol. You have to use this circumflex symbol. After that, you have to provide /n. Okay. Then you can take the entire one to the name. After that, you need to enter the ID again. So let's check this one work properly. Now let's say someone Pereira, enter. Okay, now it's asked for the ID because entire Saman Pereira taken for the name, and then you can provide the ID. Let's say 224 or 225,001H and press enter. And the duration, let's say 3. Okay, now you can see the output as Saman Pereira, name, first year, second year, third year. Okay, suppose that course we start from here increase the calculate the annual fee, and he asks for the total course fee also. No? So if you need to get the total course fee, you need to take another variable. Let's take the total course fee. Let's say TOT or something, floating type variable. Initially total is 0. Okay. Then what you have to do is, so once you use the count plus plus or whatever the one, you have to add that whatever the existing fee to the this total. That means you can take total equal existing total plus fee. Okay. After the while loop complete, you can display the total fee. So you can copy this one and paste total fee percentage 2f total. Let's check this one works properly. Name someone Pereira or something. ID 224009B. Duration, let's say 5. Total cost fee is 1000. That means summation of this thing. Okay, I think this may be correct. I don't know whether that output is accurate or not. I think this may go total cost may be correct. And okay, any question regarding this one? And I saw that there are several things. Can you explain question number 11, 17? Can you explain question number 12, 13? Okay. And did you try this question number 8? I think there is a mistake. That means you cannot take that 10 divided by 3. There should be space. That means 10 space. And after that divide, after that space, after that 3. That input should be separated by spaces. Okay, I think in this example, space is missing. Okay, now you guys ask for the question. What is the next question? Question number 11 and 17. Go to the 11. The question number 11 is an Armstrong number. Okay, I think you guys did this one in the online exercise also. Okay, I asked you to do the Armstrong number. Okay, now I think you know what does it mean by Armstrong. Okay, Armstrong mean for an example, let's say take an example 153. 153. Okay, how many digits in 153? There are 3 digits. So if you have 3 digits, take the power of each digit. First one is 1. 1 to the power 3. Okay, then you have to add the next digit 5. 5 to the power 3 plus next digit 3. 3 to the power 3. Okay, 1 to the power 3 means 1 into 1 into 1. So it is 1 plus 5 to the power 3. That means 5 into 5 into 5. 5 into 5 is 25. 25 into 5, what is that value? What is the 5 into 3? What is the value 5 into 3? 5 into 5, 25. 25 into 3, 100 and... Can someone respond? What is the 5 to the power 3?
125.
125. Okay, then 125 plus 3 into 3 is 9. 9 into 3. 9 into 3. What is it? 27. Then try to add this one. 3, 5, 1, 153. When you add this one, 153. Now you can see it is equal to the initial value. Okay. Once you calculate, if it is equal to the initial value, we call this number is an Armstrong number. Okay. Now I think you get proper idea of what does it mean by an Armstrong number. Let's take another example. 2, 4, 3, 1. Okay, now how many digits available? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 digits available. Then take the digits equal 4. Then take the power of 4 of each one. That means 2 to the power 4 plus next one 4 to the power 4 plus next one 3 to the power 4 plus 1 to the power 4. Okay, you can get this one. That means after getting this one, you will get whatever that particular number. Check whether that number is equal to this one. If it is equal, that means this is an Armstrong number. Otherwise, no. මේකේ බලය අරගෙන එකතු කරලා බලන්න. ආවට පස්සේ මේ අගයම එනවා නම් ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක Armstrong නැත්නම් Armstrong නෙමෙයි. Okay, now I think you guys get a proper idea what does it mean by an Armstrong number. Okay, now we are going to calculate the Armstrong number. Okay, that means user need to input a particular number. You have to provide whether this is an Armstrong or not. So what you guys can do, first ask user to enter a variable, let's say int number, and printf, let's say enter. You know that if you want to get the Armstrong number, it should be a positive number. Okay, the negative numbers also we can take, but ask user to enter the positive number. Positive integer. Okay, then scanf percentage d and number. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to calculate this operation. That mean 1 to the, that mean if you set a 153, 1 into 1 into 1, 5 into 5 into 5, 3 into 3 into 3, and put it to another variable, and that variable should be compared with this number, whether it is equal. Okay, දැන් මොකද කරන්න තියෙන්නේ, මේ නම්බර් එක ගත්තට පස්සේ මේ නම්බර් එක අර පවර්ස් ටික කැල්කියුලේට් කරලා තව වේරියබල් එකකට දාගන්න. දාලා ඒ වේරියබල් එකයි මේ වේරියබල් එකයි සමානයි නම් ඒක Armstrong. Okay, first you have to take another variable and calculate the Armstrong value, and this value is equal to the original number, then that original number is an Armstrong number. Therefore, proper understanding, I will put this number as a original number. Rename this one as original number. Then we can get a proper understand. Let's say this one as a original number. Okay, then copy and paste it to the here. Okay, then we can calculate our Armstrong number. After that, we can compare with it the original number. Okay, now first what we have to do, we have to calculate number of digits. Okay, how many digits in this one. Okay, there are several ways you can calculate. So one way is you can easily get, if you have the math.header file, you can get the logarithm value base 10. Okay, then you can easily get how many digits. You can take the log 10, let me log base 10, and you can increment that value by 1, then you can get how many digits available. That is a one way. Or otherwise, usually you can get the number of digits using the proper loop. While loop or for loop or do while loop. What you can do, you can divide this one until the value is 0. Okay, then calculate how many iterations. Okay, you can divide this by 10. Okay, once you divide this 153 from 10, let's say 153, okay, you have to divide by 10. Okay, then remainder is 5, division value is 15. Okay, then you will get division value is 15 and remainder is 3. 153 10න් බෙදුවාම remaining එක ගත්තොත් 3යි කියලා එනවා, බෙදුනාගේ 15යි. Okay, then still 15 is a positive, that means not the 0. Okay, the first iteration you will get this one. Again, try to divide this by 10. Okay, once you divide 15 by 10, you will get 1 divided as 1 and the remainder as 5. Okay, in the second iteration. The third iteration, still this is not 0. Again, try to divide by 10. That means 1 divided by 10. Okay, so 1 divided by 10, the divisor is 0. So remainder is 1. The remaining value is 1. Okay, once the divisor is 0, you have to stop. Okay, how many iterations? 3 iterations. Then you can see there are 3 digits available. Calculate how many iterations in that loop. Okay, that is a simple way of find how many digits in the number. Okay, now I am going to do this one first. Now I'm going to the power rank digits digits. First we will calculate how many digits in that number. Okay, now you know that when you are dividing, the 153 should be divided. When it is divided, it is 15. That means 153, the variable value, change it to the what you call 15. Therefore, before dividing, it's better we put that original number to a different variable. Okay. දැන් මේ original number එක බෙදාගෙන යන්න එපා. ඒක බෙදන් ගියොත් මේ original value අපිට නැති වෙනවනේ. If you divide the original number by 10 again and again, we will lost our original number. Then ultimately, how do we compare with the original number? Okay, therefore, before divide the original number, put it to a temporary variable. So declare a variable called temp. Then temp equal original number. Okay, temp equal original number. Okay, then what you have to do, we have to write a while loop. Let's say initially, if you don't know the condition, you can put 1. After that, we can change the condition to a proper way. That means proper value. Okay, what we have to do now, do not divide the original number because otherwise it will be lost. No, now we have the original number in the temp variable. Now try to divide the temp by 10. Okay, that means temp is equal existing temp divided by 10. Okay, suppose that you say enter 153, then the original number is 153, the temp also 153. The temp is equal original temp 153 divided by 10. Okay, that 153 divided by 10, then you will get 15. Actually, we do not need this remainder part. We can omit this part. Remainder so we will need the 15. Okay, that 15 will be assigned to the temp. Okay, now existing temp is 153. After you divide, the temp is 15. The 153 replace 15. Okay, now I think that part is okay. Okay, once this one iterate for the 3 times, then what happened? This while loop should be terminated. Okay, then how do we identify? You know that here, so actually according to the my explanation, this D is the temp. Temp, here temp. Now third iteration, temp is 0. Okay, once the temp is 0, what we have to do? Once the temp is 0, we have to stop. No point of iterating that one again and again. So therefore, what we can do is we have to put the condition while temp not equal 0. When it is equal 0, we have to stop. The condition is temp not equal 0. Oh, actually, the not equal 0 is not necessary. You can directly put the temp. Why? What happen if you directly put the temp? Initially, what is the temp? Suppose that you sent a 153. Temp while 153. 153 is a non-zero number. It is not zero. That means 153 is true. I told you all positive and negative numbers considered as true, only zero is the false. Therefore, 153 is true. Therefore, if you use the 153, yes, it is true. Then 10 people, 10 divided by 10. Then what happened? 10 is 15. Now 15, while 15, yes, while 15 mean it is true. 15 mean true. Again, you come to the here, 15 divided by 1. Sorry, 15 divided by 10. Now it is 1. Okay. Now 10 while 1. 1 also true. Okay. Then again go to here. 1 divided by 10. 1 divided by 10 is 0. Now temp is 0. When it is 0, while 0. 0 is, you know, it is false. 0 කියන්නේ false නේ. කොහේ කරි කොයි වෙලේ හරි මේක 0 එකට පැනනා කියන්නේ false. So while loop automatically stop. Okay. Therefore, it is not necessary to put the temp not equal 0 or whatever the one. Sorry. Not equal 0, whatever the one, there this way, you can directly put the temp variable. That is also possible. That means if you get confused, you can use the temp not equal 0. Otherwise, you can directly take the temp variable. Okay. Now that once this while loop finish, how do we identify how many iterations has been iterated? Okay. Then you need another counter variable to do this one. Okay. Therefore, let's say I think int counter, let's say digits, because we need the digits now. Int digits, initially there are 0 digits available. So once there is a counter, once the first iteration, the digits should be incremented by 1. Digits plus plus. Okay. Now after 3 iterations, digits become 3. Okay. That means you know there are 3 digits available. Okay. Then you can take the power of 3 for each digits. That will be covered after this while loop. Okay. Any questions up to here? How do we calculate number of digits in a particular integer value? No questions. Okay. Now we have the number of digits. I think it's better I put this one to a variable because I need more space to for the other codes. Therefore, I cut this one and paste it here. Okay. පොඩ මෙතනින් අයින් කළ උඩට ගන්න මොකද පල්ලෙහාට තව කෝඩ් ගහන්න ගියාම නැත්නම් තනි ස්ක්‍රීන් එකට ගන්න බැරි. Okay. So digits initially 0. After that we calculate number of digits. Okay, now we have the number of digits. Now what we have to do? We have to take each value. That means if it is 1, take 1. Now we have the power 3. Okay. If it is 1, take 1 to the power 3. Okay, that means 1 to the power digit. Our 3 is now in the digits variable. Okay, then take the 5, take it to the digits variable. Take the 5 to the power digits. Then take the 3, take the 3 to the power digits. Okay, now how do we separate 1, 5, 3? Okay, that is also very easy. You have to do the same while loop. We did the while loop with division. Okay, then we took this 5, 1, 0. If you take the remainder, you can see 3, 1, 3, 5, 1. You can take the 3, 5, 1. මෙහි ඉඳන් මෙහාට එනවා. ඉතින් මෙහි ඉඳන් මෙහාට එකතු කරත් එකයි මේ පැත්තේ මෙහාට එකතු කරත් එකයි. කොහෙන් ගියත් ඩිජිට්ස් ටික එකතු කරන්න ඕන පවර් එක අරගෙන. කියන්නේ එකේ 3 අරගෙන පහේ 3 අරගෙන තුනේ 3 අරගෙන එකතු කරත් එකයි නැත්නම් තුනේ 3 අරගෙන පහේ 3 අරගෙන එකේ 3 අරගෙන එකට එකතු කරත් එකයි. Okay, I think now you guys can get a proper idea. It's same as you are adding the numbers 1 to the power 3 and 5 to the power 3 and 3 to the power 3, or 3 to the power 3, 5 to the power 3, or 1 to the power 3. Okay, the initially you get 3, no, then 3 to the power 3, after that 5, 5 to the power 3, after that 1, the 1 to the power 3. Okay, so rewrite the same for loop, rewrite the same for loop with taking the remainder value. Okay. Now, how do we use this one? Okay. Now we need to take another while loop. While, let's say initially it is infinite loop, initial while 1. What we have to do? We have to use this one temp. Okay, before I think using the temp, what we have to do, we use the remainder variable. No? We need to declare another variable for the remainder value. Put another variable for save this 3, 5R to a variable called remainder. You can use R or rem or whatever the variable you like. Okay. Then how do we get this one? Initially we have to take the 3. No. How do we get 3? We have to use the temp. Previously we used the divide by 10. Now we have to use the modulus 10 because we need the remainder value. Okay. Put it to the remainder variable. Remainder is equal this one. Remainder equal temp modulus 10. Okay. Now there is another issue. What is now temp? Is it that 153? Now can someone respond? Is it 153? Because the temp should be 153. No, now is it 153 or anything else? Hmm? Is this temp initially 153? Starting number. Yes or no? No, actually it is 0 because the previous iteration, the temp becomes 0. Once it is become 0, the while loop terminates. No? The temp is 0. Okay, but before you come to this iteration, what you have to do? You have to get the original value to the temp variable. The original value is in the original num variable. Okay. Therefore, again, what we have to do before you use this iteration, we have to use the temp is equal original number. Okay. Now the remainder is equal temp modulus 10. Okay. Now what we have to do? Now the remainder variable we have 5. We have 3. Okay. Then if you have the 3, now what we have to do? The digits also 3. Okay, now we have the digits variable. No? Now what we have to do? We have to do the 3 to the power 3. That means remainder value to the power 3. 3 mean digit. So what we can do? So if you want, you can use the math.header file. You can use the POW function. Hash include math.header file. We can take the, what you call, that value. Let's say value is int x. X is equal power function. What we have to use? 3 to the power 3. That first 3 is remainder. Remainder to the value. Remainder to the power, what do you call, digits. Okay. Then you can get 3 to the 3 to the 3. That means 3, sorry, 3 into 3 into 3. Okay. After that, when it is come to the r equal 5, remainder is 5, 5 into 5 into 5. Okay. So this is a one way of taking, calculating power. Okay. If you are not wish to use a math.header file, what we have to do? Likewise here, then you need to write another for loop or while loop in order to calculate this one. Okay. Let's use some while loop again. Let's say a while. Here I write another while loop. Let's say infinite loop starting initially. Another while loop. Then what we have to do? We have to use until number of digits, we have to calculate the variable. That means we have to put that value to a variable first. So declare a variable int x. Okay, int x, we can say initially it is 1. Then what we have to use? We have to use x equal existing x multiplied by the remaining value. Initially it is 1. 1 into, initial remaining value is 3. 1 into 3. Now x is 3. The next iteration, x is 3. Remaining value also 3. 3 into 3. Okay, 3 into 3 is 9. The next iteration, 9 into 3 is 27. Okay, then you will get the 3 to the power 3 as 27 for the x variable. Okay, then what you guys need to do is you have to stop the while loop once the digits become 0. That means you have to reduce the digits one by one. You know that if it is 153, we initially calculate number of digits as 3. We have to reduce the digits one by one, then we can calculate that value. Okay, if you reduce the digits one by one, what we have to do? Reduce one by one, the original digits will be lost. Okay, then when you come to the next iteration as 5, we don't know how many digits are available. Therefore, that means usually what happens, we need to use the the digits should be decrement one by one. That means digits minus minus. Okay, initially digit is 3. Now digit is 2, digit is 1. Once the digit is 0. Okay, that means once the digits not equal 0. Once it is equal 0, we have to terminate. If you write this kind of one, what happened? Initial digits will be lost. For the next iteration, we don't have the digits. Therefore, what we have to do not use the original digits, put it to another variable. Let's say, actually digits mean our power, no, let's say PW. PW equal digits. Okay, then do not use the digit minus minus. We have to use power minus minus because power is in the digits. Okay, then what we have to use? Power not equal 0. Okay, when it's the power not equal 0, we have to use, we have to stop this one. When it is, sorry, when it is equal 0, we have to stop. Okay, then actually it is not required to use the not equal 0. You can directly use PW variable. Okay, when the PW is 0, it automatically stop. Okay, you can use whatever the way you like. Here I use x equal x into remaining value. After that, power minus minus. Okay. Any questions available up to here? Then what we have to do? Now we have the initially 3 to the power 3 to the power 3 to the power 3 in this x variable. The x variable is 3 to the power 3 to the power 3 n. Okay. Then what you have to do? Then we have to go for the next iteration. Okay. Next iteration means r equal 5. Okay. How do we get the r equal 5? How do we get the r equal 5? Okay. You know that the temp value is actually 153. Okay. If you need to get the 5, the temp value should be 15. Okay. Therefore, what we have to use, you have to use the temp equal temp divided by 10. Before you go to the next iteration, temp is equal temp divided by 10. Now the temp is 15. Okay, then you come to the here, remainder is equal 15 divided by 10. The remainder is now 5. Then again, what we have to do? x is again initially 5, you have the 5 to the power 5 to the power 5. Then what happened? The PW variable is, x variable, now x variable is 5 to the power 5 to the power 5. Then what happened? Initially 3 to the power 3 to the power 3 will be lost. Therefore, what we have to do? We have to do the summation. I mean, තුන්වෙනි බලය 3 to the power 3 to the power 3, we have to put it to a variable, and that variable we have to use the 5 to the power 5 to the power 5. Okay, therefore put another variable, so that means that variable is our Armstrong number. Okay, let's say Armstrong value. That's arm value mean Armstrong value. Okay, what we have to do now, here we have the Armstrong value, and before you divide this one, we have to use Armstrong value. Initially, put the Armstrong value as 0 because we need to get the summation of this one. Initially, that Armstrong value is equal existing Armstrong value plus our 3 to the power 3 to the power 3. That is in our x variable. Okay, that means x. Armstrong value is equal existing Armstrong value plus 3 to the power 3 to the power 3 mean x variable. We put it to the x variable. After that, you can divide after that, or before this one, you can divide it by 10. Then you can go to 15. Okay, once the temp is 15, the remainder is 5. Then again you calculate 5 into 5 into 5. That means 125. That 125 will be added to the existing 3 into 3 into 3 value plus 125. Okay, again what happened? Again temp is equal temp divided by 0, 1. Okay, now remainder is 1. Then again 1 into 1 into 1, that means 1. It will be added to the Armstrong value. Then again temp divided by 10, that means 1 divided by 10, temp is 0. Okay, now the temp is 0, what we have to do? We have to stop. Okay, therefore this while loop should be stopped when the temp equals 0. Okay, that means while loop should be run, temp not equal 0. I think you guys do understand this one. Okay, once it is 0, once the temp is 0, that this outer while loop terminates. Okay, once it's terminate, we have the Armstrong value. If the Armstrong value equal with the original number, that means you entered an Armstrong number. දැන් මේ Armstrong value එක අපි calculate කරපු Armstrong value එක original number එකට සමානයි නම් ඒ කියන්නේ අපි enter කරපු original number එක Armstrong number එක. So what we can do, once this while loop complete, here we can type if, what is the original number? This one. If the original number equal Armstrong value, a arm value. Okay, if it is equal, what we can say, printf, you entered the original value, let's say percentage %t, whatever the you entered value, percentage %t is an Armstrong number /a. Okay, and the percentage %t mean that you entered value. You entered value mean original value, original number. Okay, else mean if it is not equal. If it is not equal, that is not an Armstrong number. So you can use this one, and here is not an Armstrong number. Yeah, I think this maybe work perfectly. Let's run this one whether it's work properly. Enter a positive integer. Let's say 153. 153 is an Armstrong number. Okay. You know that example. This is an Armstrong number. Let's put a different one. Let's say 170. 170 is not an Armstrong number. Okay. Now this is the code how to find the Armstrong number. Any questions up to here? No questions. Then shall we move to the next one? The question you ask 11 and 12. 12 mean you will need to find the GCD value. Okay. GCD or what? HCF. That means highest common factor or greatest common divisor. Okay. Write a C program to find the highest common factor or greatest common divisor for the given two numbers. That means user will enter two numbers. You need to find the highest common factor. Okay, what does it mean by highest common factor? Its hint is given the largest integer which is perfectly divisible by two numbers is known as highest common factor of these two numbers. Okay, according to this example, that you can find the highest common factor for the three numbers, four numbers, or whatever the numbers. So however, the input value should be greater than or equal to. Okay, but this question asks for only for the two numbers. Okay, now I think you know that you already know how to find the highest common factor in the grade 5 or 8. Okay, you know that that's what is a singular term, the highest common මහා පොදු සාධකය එහෙමනේ කියන්නේ. Am I correct? Highest common factor මහා පොදු සාධකය, isn't it? Okay, that you need to calculate that highest common factor. Okay, let's take an example of two inputs, highest common factor. Let's say 10 and 15. Okay, let's say there is 10 and 15. Okay, now by looking at these two numbers, tell me what is the highest common factor. Okay, 10 and 15. What is the highest common factor? I think you guys passed the grade 8 or 9. ඔයගොල්ලෝ 8 වසර 9 වසර පාස් වෙලානේ ආවේනේ. එහෙනම් ඔය මහා පොදු සාධක හොයන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, what is the highest common factor? Quickly. What is the highest common factor of 10 and 15?
5.
Yes, it should be 5. Okay, that means largest common factor. That means the number, the both, that mean the both numbers can be divisible by that number. Okay, there can be several factors. We ask the highest common factor. Okay, now what does it mean by factors? Factors mean the number can be perfectly divisible. Okay, if you take 10, you can start from 1. Can the 10 divide by 1? Yes, the 10 can be, wait a minute, the 10 can be divided by 1. The factors is 1. And the high can be the one. So 10 can be perfectly divisible by 1. The next one, 2. Can the 10 divide by 2 perfectly divisible by 2? Yes or no? Can the number?
Yes,
Yes, it can be divisible by 2. So what we can do, we can put 2. 2 is a common, sorry, 2 is a factor of 10. Let's take 3. Can the 10 divide by 3? No, it is not perfectly divisible. Okay, therefore 3 is not a factor. Then 4 also not a factor. 10 cannot be divided by perfectly divisible by 4. Okay, then next one is 5. Yes, 5 can be perfectly divisible. Sorry, 10 can be perfectly divisible by 5. Then 5 is another factor. 5. Then you can go to the 6. No, 6 cannot be divisible. 7, no. 8, no. 9, no. 10. Okay, 10 also. That means 10 can be divided by 5. 10 can be divided by 1. 10 can be divided by 2. 10 can be divided by 5, perfectly divisible. 10 can be divided by 10, perfectly divisible. Okay. So that is the maximum factor. Maximum factor is number itself. Okay. Then go to the next value. 15. In the 15 also, the 15 can be divided by 1. 15 cannot be divided by 2. But the 15 can be divided by 3. Okay. And 15 cannot be divided by 4. 15 can be divided by 1. 15 can be divided by 3. 15 cannot be divided by 4, but 15 can be divided by 5. Okay, then we can put the 5. And the 6, 15 cannot be divided by 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. Sorry, 13, 14. The last one is 15. 15 can be divided by 15. The last value is 15. Okay, now the question asks to find the common factors. Okay, let's forget about this highest part. What are the common factors? Here we can identify 1 is a common factor of both numbers. And 5 is another common factor. 2 is not a common factor because there is no 2 available. 3 is not a common factor because 3 is not available in the upper part. 15 is not a common factor because it is not available in the upper part. 10 also not a common factor. It is not in the below. Okay, now you can identify common factor. There are 2 common factors, 1 and 5. Okay, the question asks to find the highest common factor. That highest one is 5. Therefore, the output should be 5 for the highest common factor, 10 and 15. Okay. Then you can identify that number cannot be divisible by any number larger than that one. A number cannot be divisible by any number larger than that one. කිසිම නම්බරයක් ඊට වඩා වැඩි නම්බරයකින් බෙදන්න බෑ. Obviously there will be a floating point, remaining value. I think you guys can understand. කිසිම නම්බරයක් බෑ ඊට වඩා වැඩි අංකයකින් බෙදන්න. දැන් 10 කවදාවත් 10ට වඩා වැඩි එකකින් බෙදන්න බෑ. 10 11න් බෙදන්න බෑ 12න් බෙදන්න බෑ. 15 වුණත් ඒකයි. 15 16න් බෙදන්න බෑ 17න් බෙදන්න බෑ. Okay, now you know always the value cannot be divisible by more than highest value. Okay, therefore what we have to do, we have to write a loop. That means least common factor is 1 always. Aduma common factor එක. But we ask the highest common factor, so we can start a loop from 1. Start loop from 1. You have to go 1 2 3, likewise you can increase, but where to stop? අපි දැන් loop එක පටන් ගන්න ගියා කියමු common factors හොයාගෙන ඔබ කොහෙන්ද නවත්තන්නේ? Where we have to stop the loop? Huh? Where we can stop the loop? However, the loop we have to stop. So here we stop the loop at 10. According to this example, first one we stop at 10, second one we stop at 15. Okay. Actually, you can identify no point of taking the loop more than 10. කවදාවත් මේ values දෙක 10ට වඩා වැඩි එකකින් බෙදන්න බෑ. සමහරට 15 බෙදෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා හිතන්න පුළුවන් 11න් පස්සේ 11 12 වගේ value වලින් නමුත් 10 බෙදෙන්නේ නැහැ ඊට වඩා වැඩි එකකින්. Always now you can get a particular point. We have to find the minimum value of these two numbers. Okay, the minimum value of these two number is 10. Then you can identify that it's a common sense. You can identify the highest common factor cannot be greater than the minimum value 10. Do you guys understand that one? The values දෙකක් දුන්නොත් එහෙම ඒකේ කුඩාම අගයට වඩා කවදාවත් highest common factor එක වැඩි වෙන්න බෑ. මොකද මේ කුඩාම අගයට වඩා වැඩි එකකින් කුඩාම අගය බෙදන්න බෑනේ කවදාවත්. ඒකින්ද මේ values දෙකේ minimum එකට වඩා වැඩි අගයකින් කවදාවත් කියන්නේ minimum අගයට වඩා 10ට වඩා වැඩි අගයක් කවදාවත් common factor එක වෙන්න බෑ. The common factor cannot be the greater than the minimum value. Okay, therefore it is easily you can identify when you start this one, we have to stop at 10. 10 mean actually it is the minimum value. Okay, suppose that there are another two numbers, let's say 7 and 21. Okay, that highest common factor cannot be greater than 7. කවදාවත් highest common factor එක 4ට වඩා වැඩි වෙන්න බෑ. මොකද 7 බෙදන්න බෑනේ 4ට වඩා වැඩි එකකින් කවදාවත්. Therefore you can identify the highest common factor should be always less than or equal to the minimum value of that two numbers. Okay, then what we have to do, we have to write a loop start from 1 until the minimum value. Okay, start from 1 until the minimum value. Try to divide both of the numbers. If it is divisible, that means that is the highest common factor. You have to go to the up to the, if the values are 10 and 15, go up to the 10. Then highest common factor should be whatever the value in between, if it is perfectly divisible. Okay, now I think you guys has a proper idea of how to find the highest common factor. First, what we have to do, we have to ask user to enter two numbers. Okay, therefore declare the variables, two numbers, let's say number 1 and number 2, int n1 comma n2. Okay, ask user to enter two numbers, printf percentage sorry, enter number 1, scanf percentage d, percentage d slash n, sorry, slash n is not required for the scanf2, then you can use n1. Okay, we have to use the and sign in front of the scanf function, and you can copy and paste. Enter number 2, n2. Okay, now what we have to do, I told you now, if you say enter 5 and 10, we have to run the loop start from 1 to minimum value. If the 5 and 10, you have to go start from 1 to 5. If it is 10 and 15, start from 1 to 10. That means first we have to find the minimum value. Because we don't know whether user enter minimum value first and the maximum value second. Sometimes user may enter 15 and 10. If the 15 and 10 also, 10 is the minimum value, second value. Therefore, what we have to do, you have to use the if condition. So otherwise you can use a ternary operator. Let's say int minimum value is equal, let's say ternary operator, n1 less than n2. Okay, if you can use the question mark, n1 less than n2, that means n1 is the minimum. If the n1 less than n2, then minimum value is n1. Otherwise, minimum value is n2. Okay. So this is a ternary operator. So otherwise you can, if you do not like the ternary operator, you can use the if else condition. Okay. If n1 less than n2, then minimum is n1. Otherwise, minimum is n2. Okay. Now we have the minimum value. Okay. Suppose that you say enter 10 and 15, the minimum value is 10. Okay. Now what we have to do, we have to start from a counter variable 1. Let's say int counter variable 1, start from 1 until 10. So you can write a while loop, while counter less than or equal less than or equal minimum value. No? Less than or equal minimum value. Start from 1 until 10. What we have to do, if it is start from 1, suppose that now you sent the values 10 and 15. Okay, we have to check the 10 divided by counter variable, that means 1, and the 15 divided by counter variable 1. If the both values can be divisible, then that is the common factor. Okay, that means we can suppose that currently highest common factor is that one. So first we have to declare a variable. Let's say highest common factor. Highest common factor. Here we can use highest common factor as, okay, first you have to check whether it is divisible or no. If let's say 10, suppose that 10 is the n1. N1 modulus n1 should be divided by this mode counter variable 1. 1 and equal 0. Check whether it is equal 0. That means perfectly divisible. Okay, not only the n1, n2 also divisible by counter. Therefore, you can use the AND operator, and then n2 modulus counter equal 0. That means both can be divisible by that value. That means that is a common factor. Okay, that means initially it is 1. You know 10 can be divided by 1. Yes, 15 can be divided by 1. Therefore, it is a common factor. Okay, initially we can think that common factor is the highest common factor. Okay, then highest common factor is the counter variable. දැන් මේ දෙකම එකෙන් බෙදනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ count highest common factor එක තමයි 1. දැනට 1. ඊගාවට යනවා 2ට. 2ට කියලා බලනවා දෙකෙන් බෙදනවාද කියලා. එහෙම වුණොත් highest common factor එක 2. Okay. Then what you can do, there is in the else part nothing to do. That means if this is not that means this counter variable divided by counter variable is not perfectly divisible. Else part nothing to do. Okay, what you have to do, you have to go to the next iteration. Before you go to the next iteration, the counter variable counter variable should be increment by 1. Counter plus. Okay, then what you can do, now it is increment 1 by 1. The counter is 2. When it is 2, 10 divided by 2, yes, it is perfectly divisible. This part is true. And 15, n2 is 15. 15 divided by 2, no. 15 cannot be divisible by 2. This part is false. Therefore, 2 is not the highest common factor. That means this line won't be executed. Then it go to the 3. 3 also, 10 can be divisible, but 10 cannot be divisible, but 15 can be divisible. But we need the end sign. Again, it is false. So this line won't be executed for the 3. And the 4, both lines cannot be divisible. 4 also, this line won't be executed. When it is 5, 10 can be divided by 5. First one is true. Second one, 15 can be divided by 5. Second one is true. Then highest common factor is the counter variable 5. Then initially highest common factor is 1. Now it has been changed to the 5. Then it's go to the 6, 7, 8 up to 10. Okay, 10 and onwards, no point of checking because 10 and onwards, the 10 cannot be divisible. මෙයා ඩිවයිඩ් වුණාට වැඩක් නැහැ අනිත් එක ඩිවයිඩ් වෙන්නත් එපා. ඒකින්ද මිනිමම් එකට වඩා වැඩි චෙක් කරලා තේරුමක් නැහැ. Okay. So counter variable. Now what you can do once the while loop finish, you can use printf highest common factor is percentage d slash n. You can use highest common factor. Check whether this program working properly. Let's say number 1, take the same example, 10 and 15. Yes, highest common factor is 5. Take another example. Let's say 9 and 27. Highest common factor is 9. Another example, 11 and 20. Highest common factor is 1. Because 11 and 20, 1 is the highest common factor. That is in between, 11 cannot be divisible. 11 and the 20. Okay, any questions up to here? And you guys ask question number 12. And the question number 13 also. Question number 13, it is same as the, what do you call, previous one. Previous one, you learned that highest common factor. Now it is asked from the LCM value. That means the least common multiple. Okay. I think this one also you already know in the grade, I don't know, 5 or 10. The least common multiple. What does it mean by least common multiple? In Sinhala, we call the lowest common multiple. That means kuda podu gunakare. Okay. So if you have two numbers, we need to find the lowest common multiple. Okay. What does it mean by lowest common multiple? Let's say you enter two numbers. What are the two numbers? Example, let's say 5 and 15. Okay, what is the least common multiple of 5 and 15? Can someone respond? 5 and 15. The least common multiple. Kuda podu gunakare. Yes,
15.
it should be 15. Okay, that means you know that when you add in two numbers, let's say 1 over 5 plus 7 over 15. So how do you add these two numbers? You have to get the common, that means least common multiple. So least common multiple is 15. After that, you can add these two numbers. Okay, but the question doesn't ask to add these two numbers. The question will given 5 and 15. So not the question, user will enter 5 and 15. You have to provide the least common multiple. Okay. How do we find the least common multiple? Okay. Here, least common multiple, that means common multiple. Common multiple mean, let's say you enter 1. This 1 should be divided by both 5 and 50. That means 1 divided by 5 and 1 divided by 50. If this 1 can be divided by 5 and 1 can be divided by 15, we call 1 is the least common multiple. එක කියන එක පහිනුත් බෙදන්න පුළුවන් නම් පහලිනුත් බෙදන්න පුළුවන් නම් අපි කියන එක කියන්නේ කුඩා පොදු ගුණාකාරය. ඒක තමයි බෙදන්න පුළුවන් කුඩාම එක. Okay, can 1 divide by 5? No. Can 1 divide by 15? No. Okay. Always 5 can be divided by 5 and onwards. දැන් කවදාද පහ බෙදන්න පුළුවන් පහට හෝ වැඩි සංඛ්‍යාවකින් විතරයි. කියන්නේ යම්කිසි සංඛ්‍යාවක් පහෙන් බෙදනවා නම් ඒ සංඛ්‍යාව පහට හෝ පහට වැඩි වෙන්න ඕන. Okay. I think now you guys can understand. If you want to divide any number by 5, perfectly divisible by 5, that number should be multiple of 5. මොකක් හරි නම්බර් එකක් පහෙන් බෙදන්න නම් ඒක පහේ ගුණාකාරයක් වෙන්න ඕන. Otherwise it cannot be divisible by 5. It should be multiple of 5. That means according to this one, the least common multiple should be 5 and onwards. If we take number as 5. කවදාත් එකෙන් බෙදන්න බෑ. අඩුම පහ වෙන්න ඕන. පහට හෝ වැඩි එකකින් විතර පහ බෙදන්න පුළුවන්. Likewise take the 15. The 15 can be divisible by multiple of 15s. Okay, that means least one should be 15. 15 බෙදන්න පුළුවන් කුඩාම අගය 15යි. හරි. ඊට පස්සේ බෙදන්න පුළුවන් 30. sorry 30 නෙමෙයි ඊට පස්සේ 30 තමයි 15 බෙදන්න පුළුවන්. So 15, after that 30, after that 45. Always it should be multiple of 15. Otherwise that number cannot be divisible by 15. Okay, now we have to find the common. That means the both the numbers should be divisible by what do you call that? Divisible by that number. Okay, that means for an example, let's say 5. If you take 5, 5 can be divided by 5. Yes, okay. And if you take 15, 5 divided by 15. Can 5 divide by 15? No. It cannot be divisible. Okay. Always you can identify the least common multiple should be greater than or equal to the maximum value. Did you get that point? කුඩා පොදු ගුණාකාරය හැමදෙස්සම මේ වැලියු දෙකෙන් වැඩිම වැලියු එකට හෝ ඊට වැඩි වෙන්න ඕන. මේකට සමාන හෝ ඊට වැඩි වෙන්න ඕන. මොකද මේ 15 බෙදන්න බෑ ඊට අඩු එකකින්. අනිවාර්යයෙන් මේ මැක්සිමම් එකට වඩා හෝ මැක්සිමම් වැලියු එක හෝ ඊට වඩා වැඩි වෙන්න ඕන. Okay, now I think you guys get that value. Any questions? Therefore, initially we have to start from maximum value and increment one by one. Okay, once the common divider found, stop your loop. කුඩාම එකනේ අහන්නේ. 15 පටන් ගන්න වැඩි කරගෙන යන්න. එක තැනක් ආවොත් දෙකම බෙදෙනවයි කියලා එතනින් නවත්තන්න. එතනින් එහාට ඕනේ නැහැ. එතනින් එහාට ආවොත් ඊට වඩා වැඩි යගන්න හම්බෙන්නේ. So now I think you guys get a proper idea. First, you need to start at the maximum value and increment one by one. Okay. Once you get the common divisor, stop your loop. Okay. How to do this one? You can ask to enter two numbers. Number 1 and number 2. Okay, number 1 and number 2. And yeah, I remove this one. And you have to find the maximum value now. Previously, you found the minimum value. Now you have to find the maximum value. Then max. If the n1 greater than n2, that means n1 is the max. Otherwise, n2 is the max. Okay, now you got the maximum value. Okay, now what you can do, you can write the infinite while loop. That means while 1. While 1 means infinite while loop. Okay, while 1 starting from the maximum value. Therefore, you need a counter variable int counter equal max. Okay, counter equal max. What we have to do here, we have to check if that counter variable, that means the counter is the max. Let's say you entered the value 10 and 15. let's say 10 and 15. Then what we have to do? Okay, now by looking at the 10 and 15, first of all, tell me what is the least common multiple? 10 and 15, what is the least common multiple? What is the least common multiple? If you get the 10 and 15. Hmm?
30.
Yes, it should be 30. Okay, that means both one should be divisible, because now suppose that you take initially 1 cannot be divided by 10. 1 cannot be divided by 15. The obviously 1 is not a common multiple. Okay, it cannot be divided. You know, both the numbers, the 10 can be divided by 10, but the 10 cannot be divided by 15. That is why we asked to start from 15. Okay, first we have to start from 15. 15 divided by 10, 15 divided by 15. Yes, this is okay, but this is not divisible. Okay, then we can go to the 16, 17 until you can get the common divisible. Okay, now what you can do, if the counter variable modulus n1 equal 0, equal 0, previously what you have did, previously you did n1 modulus count. කලින් මොකද කරේ? n1 modulus count equal 0. Now what you have to do? Now we have to use the opposite. Now you have to use the counter variable. That means initially you start from 15. Check whether this counter variable modulus number 1 equal 0, and counter variable modulus number 2 equal 0. Okay, if it is equal, that means that is the least common multiple. Least common, we don't have a variable, no? Here, let's say least common multiple. Least common multiple equal counter variable. Okay, then what you have to do, if you found this one least common multiple, do we need to continue the while loop anymore? Do we need to go to the next iteration? That means if it is not equal, what we have to do? We have to increment the counter variable by 1. That means counter plus. Okay, initially counter is 15. If the 10 is that means 10 cannot be divided by 15. 15 divided by 50, that is okay. Then you have to go to the next iteration. 16. Check whether 10 can be, that means check whether that 16 can be divided by 10. No. Then 17. 17 can be divided by 10 and 15. No. Then 18. Likewise, you can go one by one. Once you come to the 30, once this counter variable come to the 30, 30 can be divided by 10. Yes, 30 can be divided by 15. Okay. Then what you can do? Then LCM is that 30. Then do we need to go for the 31, 32? Yes or no? Once you get the 30, yes, it is divisible. Then LCM is 30. Then this is infinite loop. Do we need to go for the 31, 32 likewise? No point of going. Therefore, you need to terminate the loop. Okay. The terminate the loop can be used by the jump statement. The today's lab session is a jump statement. We call the part called break. Okay. You can use the statement called break. Break will terminate the immediate loop. Okay. Immediate loop means the immediate loop is this while loop. That while loop will be automatically terminated. Okay. Suppose that you are in this break is inside 10 while loops loop 10ක් ඇතුලේ ඉන්නේ. මේ while loop එක ඇතුලේ තව while loop එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක ඇතුලේ තව while loop එකක් ඉන්නවා. ඒක ඇතුලේ while loop එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේ 10ක් ඇතුලේ ඉන්නවා. Okay, then which while loop will be terminated? The immediate while loop, the 10th while loop, inner while, immediate inner while, that means the deepest inner while loop will be terminated. මේ break එකට හම් වෙන පළවෙනි while loop එක terminate වෙන්නේ. ඊතුරු while loop කැරකි කැරකි යනවා. Okay, now since you have only one while loop, that while loop will be terminated. Although it is an infinite loop, that will be terminated once you found the least common multiple. No point of iterating anymore. Okay, once the while loop terminate, you can display printf LCM is percentage %d /n least common multiple. Okay, let's run this program and check whether it's work. Let's say example 10 and 15. Okay, least common multiple is 30. Okay, once it is 30, the break statement executed. So that means LCM is added, break statement executed, while loop terminated, it output the least common multiple as 13. Okay, and there is another one. We can optimize this loop. Here we use the counter plus plus. That means initially counter is the maximum value. That means 15. Okay, now you are going to check that 15 can, the 10 can be divided by 15 and the 15 can be divided by 15. 15 can be divided by 15, but the 10 cannot be divisible. Therefore, you go to the next iteration 16. Okay, but you know the next iteration 16 cannot be divided by 15. What is the next iteration that 15 can be divisible? The initially 15 can be divided by 15. Okay, දැන් 15 බෙදන්න පුළුවන් 15න්. හරි, ඊට පස්සේ 15 බෙදන්න පුළුවන් මොකෙන්ද? that means ඊට පස්සේ මොකද එන value එක 15න් බෙදන්න බෙදිය හැකි. You know it should be a multiple of 15. What is the next multiple of 15?
30.
Yes, 30. Then do we need to increment only one by one? Then what happens? Usually it comes for the 15, after that 16, 17, 18, 19, it go up to the 30. Okay, we can directly go to the 30. You can directly go to the 30. Why? You know, in between 15 to 13, the 15 cannot be divisible. The 10 can be divisible because when you come to the 20, the 20 can be divisible by 10, but the 15 cannot be divisible. No? Therefore, no point of checking the 20, those things in between 15 and 30. 15යි 30යි අතර සංඛ්‍යා චෙක් කරලා තේරුමක් නැහැ. මොකද කවදාවත් 15යි 30යි අතරේ සංඛ්‍යාවකින් 15 බෙදන්න බෑ. sorry, සංඛ්‍යාවක් 15ෙන් බෙදන්න බෑ. 15යි 30යි අතර සංඛ්‍යාවක් 15ෙන් කවදාවත් බෙදන්න බෑනේ. Therefore, rather than increment one by one, you can increment 15 by 1. 15ෙන් 15 වැඩි කරන්න. That means counter should be equal counter plus 15 according to this example. Okay, how do we get this 15? Because you cannot hard code this value. No? How do we get the 15? Counter value should be increment by 15 according to this example.
Multiply by max.
Yes, it should be increment by max. So we have the 15 in the max variable. So we can instead counter plus plus, you can use counter equal counter plus max or counter plus equal max. Counter plus equal max. Okay, in here also you will get the same answer. Let's say 10 and 15. The 30 is the value. Any questions up to here? No point of using this one. If you want, you can use the counter plus plus. That is also correct. But you are executing unnecessary values also. That means you are wasting the computer resources. Okay, so this is the optimized one. Counter plus plus දැම්ම කියලා වැරදි නෑ. මේක හරියට එනවා. නමුත් අර computer එක වෙහෙසනවා වැඩි. වැඩිපුර iterations යනවා. නිකන් තේරුමක් නැහැ. Okay, ඒකින්ද iterations අඩු කරලා efficiency විදියට ලියනවා නම් max එකකින් වැඩි කරාම ඇති. Okay, any questions up to here? I think I have very few. 20 minutes remaining. So I quickly go to the this part. If you have any other question need to be discussed, let me know in the next week. Okay, now I'll come to the jump statements. Okay, what does it mean by jump statement? You already know the jump statement break. Jump statement, there are several jump statement available: return, go to, break, and continue. Okay, C has 4 statements that perform additional unconditional branch. Okay, that means you can optimize your repetition using the jump statements. Okay, first one is return. Okay, if you use return, for an example here, return. Okay, that means since this is an integer type one, you have to return whatever the value. Return mean not only the while, the entire function will be terminated. Okay, that is why this one is now is the ash color. This one won't be executed sometimes. That means this one won't be executed. Once this one is finished, it will be automatically returned. That means when we run this program, let's say 10 and 15, the answer won't be print. Once it come to the counter, that means 30 will be assigned and function terminate. The main function terminate. Return means the entire function. And remember that not the program, the relevant function will be terminated. ගොඩක් අය පටලව ගන්නවා රිටර්න් දාපු ගමන් ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකම නවතිනවා කියලා. ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එක නවතින්නේ නැහැ. අදාළ ෆන්ක්ෂන් එක විතරයි නවතින්නේ. හරි? මේ ෆන්ක්ෂන් එක තියෙන්නේ මේන් එක ඇතුළේ හින්දා මේන් එක නවතින හින්දායි ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එක නවතින්නේ මෙතන. මේන් ෆන්ක්ෂන් එක ටර්මිනේට් වුණොත් ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එක නවතිනවා. නමුත් රිටර්න් එකෙන් කරන්නේ මේන් ෆන්ක්ෂන් එක නෙමෙයි අදාළ ෆන්ක්ෂන් එක විතරයි. Okay, you will be learn the functions. I try to do the functions part also today. The relevant function will be terminated. Okay, I think you got that part. And the next one is a goto statement. That means you can perform a particular label and you can ask to go to that label. For an example, take this one. So there is a main function and int x. So this is we called as a label. Okay, and print whatever the x variable. X is 1 and print x variable. Okay, and x is increment 1 by 1. X is 1. So this is a label. Therefore, nothing that this line 5 will not be executed because that this is just a label. How to define the label? You can put whatever the name you like. In front of the name, you have to use this colon. Once you use whatever the name as colon, and that will be a label. The label won't be executed. It is just like a comment. A comment tag. Actually, it is not a comment. It looks like a comment. Okay. Then next iteration, 1 will be printed on the screen. After that, x increment by 1. Now x is 2. Okay. If x is less than 7, yes, it is less than 7. Then go to label 1, loop 1. So then automatically jump to the line number 5. That is we call the jump statement. Jump to the line number 5. Again, it comes to the line number 5. It is just a label. Therefore, now again go to the 6. Print x value. X value is 2. Again, increment by 1, 3. Yes, 3 less than 7. Again, jump. Likewise, this is now looks like a loop. And print up to 7. Once it comes to the 8, condition false. Therefore, it never go to the loop and terminate. So we can run this program. We can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's act as a loop. I think you got this one properly. So I rewrite this one again. Let's say you need a variable int x equal 1. Suppose that you need to print from 1 to 10. Okay. What you have to do, you have to use the printf percentage d slash n, print that x value. Okay, after you print x value, what we have to do? We have to again jump to the particular label. Okay, if before going to this one, you have to increment the x by 1, increment the x by 1. After that, again, you need to print this one. You have to use if x less than or equal 10, if x less than or equal 10, then you can use go to a particular label. Okay, label should be defined. You have to go to the this printf statement again. X එක 10ට අඩුයි නම් ආයෙ ගිහලා print කරන්න. print කළා ආයෙ එකකින් වැඩි කරන්න. Okay, if the x less than or equal 10, again go to the line number 5 and print this one, again increment. Okay, then if you want to go to the line number 5, you have to put a label on line number 5. Therefore, I put a space and put a label. Let's say my label. You can use whatever the name you like. My label and colon. Okay, then you can use go to my label. Go to my label means line number 5. Okay, you can use this one. Okay, you can see it's print from 1 to 10 by using the go to statement. Okay, now I think you guys has a proper idea of return, go to, and the break. Break I already did. You can terminate a particular loop at any point. For an example, let's say you write, I explained the while loop. Let's say you are writing the for loop for int I equal 1, I less than 10, I plus plus. Okay. Printf percentage d slash n, and here you can provide the I variable. Okay. Now when you run this program, it print from 1 to 9 because it is less than 10. No? Let's say less than or equal 10. Okay, now here it's print from 1 to 10. Okay, now suppose that I need to terminate this one at a particular point. For an example, here, if the I is equal to the 7, that means when the I is come to the 7, I need to terminate this for loop. Okay, do not go 7 and onwards. Okay, now usually it go up to the 10. No? Let's say when it is 7, we can break. Break means terminate the loop. So when you run this program, you can see it print up to 10. Because when it is come to the 7, the condition true, break mean exit from the immediate loop. Here immediate loop is for loop. This one break. Okay, that means you can put the break without a condition also. That means once you print the I value, break. That means the first iteration it break. That means first you print 1, after that break. The while loop, the for loop terminate. Okay, that means for loop terminate means if there are anything after the for loop that will be executed. Let's say goodbye. The goodbye will be printed. 1 after that goodbye, because you put the breakpoint here. Let's say with the condition, if I equal 7, then break. Okay, then when it's come to the 7, first it print the 7, after that never come to the go to the 8 and terminate. After that print the goodbye. 1 to up to 7, after that goodbye. Okay, I told you return is a different thing. Return means entire function will be terminated. If you use the return keyword, since this is a void, you do not need to put 6 or whatever the one. Void mean nothing will be returned, just return is okay. So what happened? It print 1 to 7 and the goodbye won't be printed because return mean terminate. Sorry, terminate the function, main function, not the entire program, main function. Once the main function terminate, the entire program is terminated. That's a different thing. Okay, now I think you guys have a proper idea. Return, go to break, and the next one is continue. Continue means skip that iteration. Okay, that means if you use the continue, okay, when the I is 7, continue mean go to the next one. That means when you run this program, that here nothing will be happen. It print 1 to 10. That means when it is come to the 7, what happens? 7, go to the next iteration. 7 එකට ආවයි කියන්නේ කෙලින්ම ඊගාවකට යන්න. That means suppose that now there is another thing here. Printf. Hello. I put a space. So I put hello here. And now what happened? Here. I think it's better you put instead of /n, I put a space. Okay. Then you can better understand. Okay. Here I put a space. Okay, here you print whatever the variable 1. After that, hello. Okay, 1 hello, 2 hello, 3 hello, 4 hello, 5 hello, 6 hello, 7. When it is come to 7, continue. Continue means without printing the rest of the things inside the for loop, go to the next iteration. ඒ කියන්නේ 7 වෙලාවට hello print කරන්න එපා. ඒව කරන්න තු ඊගාකට යන්න. 8ට ගිහලා 8 hello print කරන් යන්න. After that, goodbye. So once the I is 7, that hello won't be printed. That means skip that iteration, go to the next one. Okay, that means if you don't have this hello, you can see it print 1 to 10. After that, goodbye. So if you use this continue part before the printf statement, then 7 won't be printed. Then what happened? Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After the 6, there is a 8. Why? When it is 7, continue. Go to the next iteration without printing that line. Okay, now I think you have a better idea of the return, go to, and the break statements. Any questions up to here? No questions. So now actually my time is 8 o'clock. I think I don't have a proper time to do the functions. Okay. I'll try to do an extra lab session maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I'll check with your batch rep additional time for this function part. Okay, up to here, do you have any questions? Up to the jump statement, do you have any questions? If you don't have any question, I can conclude the lab session. If there is a question. So can I know what is the difference between return and return 0 and the return function? Yes, actually at this moment you don't get proper idea what does it mean by return and the return and return zero. You ask the return and return zero, this one, isn't it? That Kumar, you asked what is the difference between return and return zero. Yes, actually to explain that one, I need to give a proper idea of what does it mean by a function. Okay, function mean actually it is doing a particular task. Okay, I little bit explain that one. This is the main function. Okay, you can add a particular function. Let's say you need to add two numbers. Then you can add the function called int add. Sorry, let's say void add. If you need to add two numbers, the function you need to pass two numbers. Okay, the numbers can be passed by int n1, int n2. Likewise. Okay, then what you can do, you can add these two numbers. Int answer is equal number 1 plus number 2, a simple function. Okay, now once you add this one, now this function actually add two numbers passed to a particular person. Sorry, passed to this function. Then it add these two numbers and this should be, the answer should be passed to the caller. Okay, that someone need to execute this function. When someone execute, you need to give this number. Okay, that number is also an integer. Therefore, once you pass the two numbers, that means two integer values, you return another integer value. Okay, therefore the return type is mentioned as void should be changed to the int. Okay, then you need to return answer. Okay, that means this function return a particular integer type called answer. Okay, from this main function you can call this add function and get the answer properly. How to do this one? The function prototype should be added before the main function. Function prototype mean the signature of the function prototype, and you have to use the this is, don't worry, I will explain that part. Okay, and here you can add this one. That means int k is equal, you can call this add function add. You can pass two numbers, let's say 5 comma 2. Okay, that means here you are calling this add function with n1 as 5, n2 as 2. Then what happened? 5 plus 2 will be added. That means 7. 7 is in the answer. That answer will be returned because the return type is int. The 7 will be returned. 7 is integer. This function returns 7. So answer of the highlighted one is 7. That means 7 will be assigned to the k. After that, you can printf percentage d slash n k. Okay, once you execute this one, you can see answer is 7. Okay, now here return type is int. Okay, therefore you need to return integer type 1. Okay, suppose that you, instead of hard code 1, you return 89. Okay, instead of whatever the numbers you are adding, numbers you pass, you just return 89. Then what happened? Although you pass 5 and 2, it return 89. 89 is the k variable. Okay, that means if the return type is int, you need to return integer type variable. Okay, suppose that return type is void. Void means does not return anything. Then here also void. Then you can just use return. That means this function take the input values but does not return anything. It will be executed but does not return anything. Therefore, the k variable, you can see, you cannot get anyone because add function does not return anything. You can just call add. You can just call the add function but cannot return anything. Okay. Instead of that one, you can print the answer. Printf percentage D. Here you can print the answer. Instead of return the answer to the main function, here you return, after that terminate, return. Here you print, after that return. So now when you execute, you can see answer is 7. It is printed by this function, not in the main function. Okay, now simply return value mean once the functions exit, the function declaration you provide, whether it return integer value or double value or float or char or anything. This can be char, okay, or this can be a float. Okay, if it is float, you need to return 9.7. Likewise, the value should be returned. Okay, likewise. However, that return after that a particular number mean the type of this one. Okay, now the question you asked was what is the difference between return 0 and return? Because still you have not covered the function part. No? You have only the main function. Okay, since the main function is void, you cannot return anything. You cannot return integer value. Okay, then what you have to do? You have to just return. If the return type is int, okay, then you have to provide the value. You can return 0, you can return 7. Not only 0, you can return and you have to return something. That is why we need to return. That means you provide that main function will return something. Actually, the return value cannot be captured by outside because this is the main function. That is a different thing. However, the function prototype, that means declaration of the function, you mentioned this main function will return integer value. In such a situation, you have to put this one as whatever the return value. 0 hari kamanne, මොකක් hari kamanne value එක return කරන්න වෙනවා. Okay. If this is a void, you have to return nothing. Return means terminate, but return nothing. Did you get the point? That Kumari JKAW. Okay, any other question? No questions. If you don't have any question, I can conclude the lab session. Okay, seems to be you don't have any question. Therefore, I conclude the lab session. Thank you for your participation.